Hello my dear students, welcome back to my class. In previous video, we have studied about the stem tissues as well as the tissue system in plants. In this video, we will study about the protective tissues in plants. All the plant parts have a protective covering on them, which will be in direct contact with the environment. As the skin protects our body, the plants also have the protective tissues, and these protective tissues are in direct contact with the environment. The protective tissues in plant is the epidermis. The epidermis includes epidermal cells, stomata, epidermal hairs and cork. See, the protective tissue in plants is epidermis. It includes epidermal cells, stomata, and epidermal hairs and cork. Let us study about them one by one. First is epidermis. The epidermis is a single layer of cells that covers the leaves, flowers, roots, and stems of plants. It is the outermost cell layer of the primary plant body. Epidermis includes several differentiated cell types, namely epidermal cells, guard cells, and subsidiary or the accessory cells, forming stomata and epidermal hairs. Epidermal cells have various or diverse function and various levels of differentiation. Now you are familiar with differentiation. What is differentiation? The process of obtaining permanent shape, structure and function is called as differentiation. So the epidermal cells have diverse functions and various levels of differentiation. Means they show the different kinds of shapes, structures and functions. They possess a large central vacuole which usually contains no chloroplast. See, these epidermal cells usually lack the chloroplast. They are tightly linked to each other. These cells provide mechanical strength and protection to the plant. The epidermal cells of plant parts above the ground, they secrete a waxy substance. That waxy substance is called as a cutin. This cutin forms a protective layer called as cuticle. Here you can see the structure of a cuticle. The outer thick waxy covering of the plants and leaves. It is called as cuticle. The cuticle protects plants from drying out by reducing water loss. This process of drying out is called as desiccation. So we can say that cuticle prevents the desiccation of the plants. The cuticle does not let oxygen or carbon dioxide pass through it. Here you can see the cuticle on the plant. Cuticle, it is the outer thick and waxy covering of the plants and leaves. Here you can see the cross section of a typical dicot leaf. Here is a cuticle. Next are stomata. Stomata refers to the tissue structures present in the epidermis of leaves, and these are also present on some stems. Here you can see the schematic representation of the open and closed stomata. These are the tiny pores mostly present on the leaves as well as the green parts of the stem, useful for the gaseous exchange. What are stomata? Stomata are the tiny openings present on the epidermis of leaves. We can see stomata under the light microscope. In some of the plants, stomata are present on stems, mostly on the green stems. These are also present on the other parts of plants. These stomata play an important role in gaseous exchange and photosynthesis. Stomata also control the transpiration. They are controlled by transpiration rate by opening and closing. Now let us discuss about the structure of stomata. The stomata consists of a minute pores called as stoma. The stoma are surrounded by a pair of guard cells. Stomata open and close according to the turgidity of the guard cells. The cell wall surrounding the pore is tough and flexible. The shape of guard cells usually differs in both monocots as well as in the dicots, though the mechanism continues to be the same. The guard cells are bean shaped and they contain chloroplasts. They contain chlorophyll and they capture the light energy. Then the accessory or the subsidiary cells. They surround the guard cells. They are the accessory cells to the guard cells and are found in the epidermis of plants. They are present between guard cells and epidermal cells and protect the epidermal cells when the guard cells expand during the stomatal opening. The average number of stomata is about 300 per cubic millimeter of the lip surface. 300 per square millimeter of the lip surface. Here you can see the label diagram of stomata and surrounding guard cells. See, this opening is called as stoma. So through this pore the gaseous exchange takes place. See, these are the guard cells. So these guard cells regulate the opening and closing of the stomata. Now let us discuss an activity to prepare temporary mount of lip epidermis to study the structure of stomata. For this you will need a potted bryophyllum plant or Rio plant, forceps, needles, watch glasses, glass slides, a dropper, cover slips, a brush, blotting paper, safranin stain, glycerin and a compound microscope. Now let us discuss the procedure. First, you will have to remove a healthy leaf from the potted plant. You may choose the bryophyllum leaf or the Rio leaf or any other leaf from which a peel can be obtained. Generally, we select the Rio leaf or bryophyllum leaf because it is fleshy, so we can easily remove its peel. Remove a part of the peel from the lower surface of the leaf. You can do this by folding the leaf over and gently pulling the peel apart using forceps. Keep the peel in the watch glass containing water. Then put a few drops of safranin stain in a watch glass to stain the lip peel. After 2 to 3 minutes, take out the peel and place it on a clean glass slide. Put a drop of glycerin over the peel and place a clean cover slip gently over it with the help of a needle. Then remove the excess stain and glycerin with the help of blotting paper. Then observe the slide under the low power and high power magnifications of the compound microscope. You will see that the epidermal cells are visible. These are irregular in outline and they have no intercellular spaces. And many small pores or stomata are seen scattered among the epidermal cells. Each pore is guarded by two bean-shaped guard cells, each containing chloroplasts as well as a nucleus. The next point is epidermal hairs. The cells of epidermis, they bear several hair-like outgrowths. They are classified as root hairs and trichomes. For example, see on the tomato plant, you can observe such hair-like outgrowths. So these hair-like outgrowths, these are epidermal hairs and the type is trichomes. First type is root hairs. Root hairs are the unicellular elongations of the epidermal cells that help to absorb water and minerals from the soil. Here you can see the epidermal hairs of the root hairs of the carrot plant. Next are trichomes. The epidermal hairs on the stem are called as the trichomes. Here you can see the trichomes. The epidermal hairs on the stems. These are called as trichomes. See, you have seen the epidermal hairs in the transverse section of sunflower stem. The trichomes in the shoot system are usually multicellular. Root hairs are generally unicellular while trichomes are multicellular. They help in preventing water loss due to the process transpiration. Next is cock. As the plant matures and grows old, they exhibit an increase in girth due to secondary growth. It takes place by the activity of the lateral meristem. Here in this figure, you can see the structure of a cock. The secondary growth takes place by the activity of lateral meristem and cork cambium that produces cells internally and externally by tangential divisions. As a result of the secondary growth, the epidermis of the stem or root it becomes incapable of expanding along the circumference. Then it usually ruptures from the surface. Here you can see the ruptured surface. The cork cambium produces cork cells towards the outside and the parenchyma cells lie towards inside. Here you can see the living phloem parenchyma cells lie towards the inside. With time and maturity, the cells accumulated on the outside they cut off from the inner layer and they form several layers of thick corks and then they constitute the bark of a tree. The cork cells become dead and their inner walls are lined with a chemical. That chemical is called as suberin. It makes them impervious to gas and water. Due to the chemical suberin, the gases and waters cannot be exchanged through them. See, cork is the external protective tissue which substitutes the epidermal cells in mature stems and the roots. Once the stem and roots get matured, then they are covered with the cork, which is the external protective tissue. The cork cells are lifeless and they lack the intercellular gaps. Their cell walls are coagulated or fixed by the cementing substance called as suberin. It makes them impervious to gas and water molecules. Means gas and water molecules cannot pass through them. So this was all about the tissue systems in the plants. In next video, we will start discussion on the animal tissues. Thank you.